Alright, so tonight I'm going to be explaining how to make one of my favorite recipes for dinner. This is a super easy meal to make and it's relatively cheap too, so it's perfect for college students. We're going to do some burrito bowls. So the first thing you need is either ground turkey or ground beef. It doesn't really make a difference which one, so you can choose whichever one you like best. I'm going to be using ground turkey tonight. Then you need some kind of rice. I have, for ease, a microwavable quinoa and brown rice blend. Super good, but you can choose what kind of rice you would like to use. You don't have to use this kind. You can just buy a big bag of brown rice. It's super cheap at the store and boil some on the stove, or you can get Mexican rice or any other kind of rice that you would like to use. Then I've got my vegetables. I'm going to do some baby spinach, a red bell pepper, an onion, and an avocado, and last, my taco seasoning. So the first thing we're going to do is go ahead and just prepare our vegetables. You want to make sure that you wash them really thoroughly, and then we're just going to chop them up. So I have my whole bell pepper that I chopped up. I have about 1/4 of an onion, a handful of spinach, and then I've cut my avocado in half. I'll finish the avocado at the end as it's just going to be a topping. But as far as the rest of the vegetables, you can kind of pick and choose which ones you would like to use. Some other good ones, obviously we've got green, yellow, and orange bell peppers that are great, as well as any other kinds of spicy peppers that you would like to throw in there. I'm not a big fan of spice, so this is all I've got, but you can kind of pick and choose what you would like. Now, as far as how much of the onion and the bell pepper to use, I will not eat all of this meal tonight. I'll use it as leftovers in the days to come. So that's why I chose to do the whole bell pepper and a pretty large amount of onion. But if you're just planning to cook for one meal for one night, you probably want to use 1/4 to 1/2 of the bell pepper and maybe a little less than 1/4 of the onion, depending on how much you would like. The next thing we're going to do is start working on our meat. So again, I'm using ground turkey, but you can use ground beef if you would like. You're going to put it in a skillet and turn it up to medium to high heat and just let it go. We're going to start breaking it up into little chunks. As you can see, I've started it a little bit. As it cooks, just continue to flip it, turn it, make sure the meat gets cooked pretty thoroughly. So as your meat starts to cook, it's going to turn from pink to brown. Depending on what kind of meat you're using will vary on the darkness of the color. But once it gets to be about 3/4 of the way brown, that's when I like to add in my taco seasoning and some of my vegetables. So I went ahead, I added in my whole packet of taco seasoning, and I added my onions and my red peppers. It's important that you wait until the meat is mostly cooked to add these in so that the meat does cook all the way through. You also don't want your vegetables to become overcooked while your meat's cooking, so you got to make sure you get the timing right on that. I also am going to wait to put the spinach in at the end so that it doesn't wilt too early and burn or overcook. Alright, so once your meat is cooked most of the way through, you can go ahead and add your spinach. After you add your spinach, you want to make sure you turn your heat down on your stove eye. So I've turned mine down to low. Then we're just going to get a lid, place it on top here. We're going to let it simmer. While it's simmering, this would be the time to cook your rice. So for me, I'm just going to stick mine in the microwave. If you are boiling your rice on the stove, now would be the time to get that going. My rice is done now, so I went ahead and added it to the skillet. So now I'm just going to cover it back up for another minute or two, let those veggies finish cooking, and then it will be ready to go. How you know when the veggies are done, you want to make sure they're starting to turn translucent, and then they are ready to eat. And that is it. Super easy to make. As you can see, I went ahead and finished cutting up my avocado. I just did half for tonight and then put it on top. Some other things you can top your bowl with. You can do cheese, you can do salsa, sour cream. You can also add black beans into your bowl if you would like. There's all kinds of things you can do. You can really get creative with it and make it your own meal. But from start to finish, took me maybe 15 minutes, so really easy dish to make. You can do it easily from your home. So try it out. Let us know what you think. Hope you all enjoyed.